Tonight's broadcast is made possible by a generous donation from the Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk. To learn more, go to berkeleyheightsfivek.com.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Berkeley Heights. I'm Michael Shapiro from thealternativepress.com. Joining me today are Dr. Patrick Smith, Councilwoman Jean Kinsley, and Mayor Joe Bruno from Berkeley Heights. Councilwoman Kinsley, you're currently spearheading a beautification project for Berkeley Heights and a beautification committee. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Certainly. One of the things I ran for in my campaign was working on the overall beautification and enhancement of downtown to encourage local businesses and townspeople to participate more. And working with Mr. Bruno, the mayor, we decided the best form would be an actual township committee that was sanctioned by the town. And we are in the process of getting that ordinance together and launching it. And the committee will really look to enhance the overall appearance of downtown. And the downtown district is bigger than just the businesses, but really going from the train station around Springfield Avenue and over to Snyder Avenue Park. And their job will be to come up with a plan for shrubs, trees, holiday lights, signage, whatever might work to help make downtown look more attractive to people.
Yeah, I know, and before our interview here today, you were mentioning about how there's so many great businesses and restaurants for people to come to here in Berkeley Heights, but oftentimes they don't even know it when they're coming to a game, for example, in Snyder Park. And I think you were talking a little bit about possible signage there and things like that.
Right. I mean, I'm not sure people know, but there is a baseball. The Wooden Bat League is coming this summer. The New Jersey Pilots will be here. They'll have 22 home games. And people that drive into that park don't realize they're so close to downtown Berkeley Heights. And they can go to Rita's, or they can go for pizza, or they can go for Chinese, or a cocktail, one of the local bars. So our goal would be to try to get signage up as soon as possible from the train station and from the park, letting people know what's here and how close they are to downtown so they can come.
Now, if any of our viewers want to give some suggestions to the committee, how can they do that?
Until the committee's officially launched, they can email Joe Bruno, or they can email myself at our township websites, emails, and we'll respond. And once the committee gets up and running, I'm sure they'll be looking for additional participation. That
sounds great. Now, Dr. Smith, I think you're here speaking on behalf of the Suburban Chamber of Commerce, and in particular, you're representing the Suburban Chamber here in Berkeley Heights. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your efforts here in Berkeley Heights and how the Chamber is connecting with the Berkeley Heights community.
Thanks, Mike. Well, this past year, we reorganized the Suburban Chamber of Commerce, which represents Berkeley Heights, New Providence, and Summit. We've added vice chairmanships to the three towns, and as a businessman for 23 years in town and running a charity foundation for the past 15, they asked me to sign on for the next couple of years as the vice chairman of Berkeley Heights. What I'm trying to do is connect all the businesses with Mayor Bruno and the town council, the schools, the recreation department, the nonprofit organizations, and so we can all work together to make Berkeley Heights a better place and create better opportunities for all.
Yeah, and I know there's a number of events coming up in town that the Suburban Chamber is actively involved in. I know one of them being the Rubber Ducky Festival. You want to talk a little bit about some of the upcoming events? And I know there's also a Breakfast with the Mayor coming up.
There's a lot of great programs. I happen to think Breakfast with the Mayor is probably the most exciting program we have coming up on May 18th. Mayor Bruno is going to share his vision and the council's vision for downtown Berkeley Heights. And we're going to talk about how Berkeley Heights really has representation through the Chamber of Commerce and the business community and all the opportunities that we're moving forward. It's going to be great. We have the 18th, May 18th, from 8 to 9 for business owners, a breakfast with the mayor in the council room here in Town Hall. Rubber Ducky's coming up on June 9th. That's a great community event hosted by the Rotary Club in town, but also by the Suburban Chamber of Commerce Foundation, to raise money for all the good works and scholarship programs. There's the Summer Concert Series, which will take place on Wednesdays, the month of July in Berkeley Heights. We're partnering with the Recreation Department and Tom Martin to provide some exciting opportunities for the business community and the residents that attend. Those concerts are wonderful. It's a beautiful park. It's a great way to see downtown, and we want people to know that they can come to the concert, and they can also come down into Berkeley Heights here and have a meal. And have some ice cream, have some frozen yogurt. See what the town's all about, do a little bit of shopping. So we're going to have that moving forward. And then really exciting, new this year, there's going to be a Heights Fest, which is going to celebrate all Berkeley Heights, community, residents, people who've lived here in the past, classes from GL, and they're going to have music and a beer garden and local food, and it's going to be great. It's going to be right down there on the Mount Carmel Fairgrounds. There's going to be fireworks, and it's going to be for Berkeley Heights people. It's going to be Berkeley Heights for Berkeley Heights on Saturday, August 4th. So I think that's really going to be exciting. And then moving forward, we have more programs for the fall. So we're really liking, how people are coming together, and they're happy to have some representation, and everybody wants to be on the same team.
Yeah, and I know, thealternativepress.com, we're members of the Suburban Chamber, and we love being a part of it. How can businesses get involved with the Chamber if they'd like to consider joining?
It's very easy. They can always contact me personally at Dr. Smith at drpatricksmith.com for immediate local representation, or they can go to the Chamber website at suburbanchamberswithans.org.
Great. Before we go here, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you'd like to talk about with our viewers today?
No, just that there's a lot going on in Berkeley Heights, and we want to invite everybody in to participate.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, we're going to need participation. As this committee gets formed and it gets going, we're looking for the community to get involved and show the businesses here that they really care about Berkeley Heights and they love the town.
Well, I want to thank all of you for being here with us today here at Heritage Square in Berkeley Heights.
Thanks, Mike.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial break to speak with Jim Baroud, Executive Director of the Rothman Institute of Entrepreneurship at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Welcome back to This Week in Berkeley Heights. We're at the beautiful campus of Fairleigh Dickinson University, and with me is Jim Baroud, Executive Director of the Rothman Institute of Entrepreneurship for the Silberman School of Business at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Welcome, Jim.
Good to see you, Mike.
Good, great to have you. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about what the Rothman Institute does and how it can serve small businesses.
Sure. Well, as you know, Mike, we've been around for 23 years. We're one of the oldest entrepreneurship centers in the country. And we do a number of things, but our primary mission is to help entrepreneurs and innovators be more successful. Okay, so we also act as a bridge between academia and industry. So we have these programs that allow students to work with companies and companies to get help from students. Works very well. So we have three main areas. One is entrepreneurship. So we help everyone from teenagers all the way to retirees who want to start or grow a business. The second area is family business. Family businesses, as many people know, are the backbone of our society and our economy. Almost 70% of all businesses are family businesses. So we help those businesses be more successful and continue to grow and last in multiple generations. And then the third area is innovation. So we have a number of high-level innovation programs for not only growth companies, but large multinationals, because all companies need to innovate to grow.
I know you're on the board of the Chamber of Commerce for the state, and you're also active in various chambers of commerce in New Jersey. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your involvement with the Chamber of Commerce and how the Chamber of Commerce and can partner with businesses and vice versa.
Sure. So chambers are a great way for small businesses to become more active in the community and to get business. The key to being involved and being productive with the chambers is to go to the meetings, to network, and to follow up. Just being a member is not going to do you any good. The key is going to meetings, building out your network, exposing your brand to more and more people, and then following up and closing the deal. Closing the sale. And that's how you can best take advantage of chambers, whether it's a chamber in your town or a larger regional chamber or a state chamber.
Yeah, and I find that to be the case. I mean, we're members of basically every chamber of commerce in all of our towns, and it's not just a matter of being a member. You have to go to the meetings and you meet everybody, and that's how you network, and that's how you build your business. So I appreciate those comments. I was wondering if you might be able to talk a little bit about the social media tools that are available to small businesses, and any in particular that you might want to recommend.
Well, you know, there's been so much hype about social media and how great it is and how much business it will bring to your company. the reality is you have to take it step by step. And some things work and some things don't, depending on your business. The most important thing to do is to have a plan and invest the time wisely. Because even though these social media tools, most of them are free, the key is you're taking time away from doing something else. And if you don't manage that time wisely and have a plan and goals, then you can get lost in social media and you won't drive one extra penny of business to your business. So clearly there's a number of tools. Facebook is very popular. LinkedIn is very popular. Twitter is very popular. Pinterest now is growing in popularity. Everybody is worried about being left off this ship that's sailing away. And my caution is always to learn as much as you can, get your feet wet, and then build it out. Start create a plan, and start testing and trying things. And you'll see what works at the end of the day. And then you can invest more time and money in those social media tools that work. One of the easiest way for small businesses to get an understanding of what might work for their industry is to look at other businesses in your industry, whether they're in a town next door or the state next door or the West Coast. See what's working for a similar business to yours, and just benchmark them and create a similar plan to implement for your own business.
I know one of the big issues I think confronting small businesses right now is kind of the battle versus the big box store. I know, for example, Amazon now has this program where you can go into a small business and you kind of take a picture of the item, and you can, if you buy it on Amazon, you get a discount. All kinds of things like that going on that are really hurting small businesses. I was wondering if you might be able to talk a little bit about how a small business can compete against a big box store, and what would be your advice for them?
Well, let me say that Amazon is taking on Walmart now with those types of tactics where you scan and you get it shipped to your house with no taxes. That's a whole other issue that we don't have to get into now. But those are big challenges for small business. You have online gorillas like Amazon, and you have big box stores like Walmart and Target and others. And the key is to provide extraordinary customer service. That is the advantage of a small community store. Build those relationships and use social media as well to help further those relationships. And then be very responsive to your customers. When they need something, get in touch with them right away. That's one of the best things that small businesses can do. They may not be able to have the cheapest price. And if you get into that sort of cycle where you're always lowering your prices to match these big box stores, which have much better pricing power of you, then you're doomed. So the key is to leverage the community and your relationships.
Now, I know a number of businesses, and I know when we first started with the Alternative Press, we were in a similar situation where, basically, we were doing everything on an Excel spreadsheet and things like that. And I talked to a lot of business owners who were still doing that. But I know that there's also tools available today, in fact, that we even use that can help small businesses. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Absolutely. So one of the best things about being in business today is that the tools for helping your business operate are so cheap, if not free. You have Google Apps and Google Docs, and you could actually run your business from that free set of software alone. But of course, there's others. Microsoft offers a lot of free services. Intuit offers QuickBooks and TurboTax and things like that, accounting software. Very easy to use and very cheap. So I would highly recommend you take advantage of the tools, either cheap or free, to make your business operate as smoothly as possible. Today, it's actually possible to operate your business from your smartphone, which is incredible. So, again, the key is to take your time and sort out what makes sense, test out which programs work, and then see what can be scaled for your business. And then, 1 year from now, you'll look back and say, how was I doing all that on paper or Excel spreadsheets? I could have been using all this software, collaboration software, to be so much more efficient and be more responsive to my customers. So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, and I know one of the questions in speaking with small businesses that I meet, they always say, I don't have a business plan. Do I need a business plan? Since you're an expert on it, should every small business have a business plan? What are your thoughts? And if so, how do they go about doing it? Because I know that, you can try to do it on your own. There are consultants. A lot of small businesses don't necessarily have money for a consultant. Right. What do you suggest?
Well, there's a lot of free software out there. So you can build out your business plan. It just takes the time, just like social media. You need to invest the time. Now, all businesses should have a business plan. Okay, now we heard all these stories about stuff getting started on the back of a napkin. And even now today, a lot of folks say you don't need a business plan. That's right. You might be able to get funded. You might be able to get off the ground very easily because of technology without a formal business plan. But you will need to get that business plan up and running so that it's a document so that you can grow your business and overcome the challenges ahead. Mm-hmm. It's more or less a planning document, a live document, which always changes. Especially if you need to pivot and focus on another market or offer another service or product, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Does it have to be a 100-page tome? No. It could be as little as 10 to 20 pages these days. The key is to realize that it's a tool to help you plan and to grow your business.
One other question. In terms of the economy and how that's impacting small business and stuff like that, I meet a lot of business owners who kind of have their hands in their pockets and they're kind of bunkered down. And what is your view in terms of how small businesses should be dealing with this economy in terms of their marketing and things like that? And what's your overall view in terms of where things are going in terms of the economy and what business owners should look for in the next couple of years?
Right. Well, we're cautiously optimistic. Mm-hmm. And knock on wood, if there is wood around here, hopefully we'll keep progressing up this way. Okay. Now, it's been a tough few years, particularly for small businesses, and they've been very cautious. Now, the statistics and the data say that small businesses are starting to be more optimistic in hiring more mm-hmm. and investing in their businesses. So that's all good. The key is to still be cautious, but make those investments that make the most sense. Mm-hmm. Leverage technology, right? Those can cut costs and make you more efficient. Build strong relationships with your customers and your vendors. Mm-hmm. And then that will set the stage for better profitability as we come out of this recession, recovery, whatever it is. But I think small businesses have learned enough over the past few years to know to be cautious, but they need to also look at the bright horizon and make those investments wisely.
Now, is there anything that we haven't talked about today that you think that you'd like to talk about? Because I know we have a lot of small businesses watching. We also have a lot of residents watching right. Here today.
I would just say that now is a time, to think about expanding or starting a business. As we were discussing before, the cost to start a business has decreased exponentially from just 5-10 years ago. So if you want to try something, go ahead and do it. The risks are much lower. And you never know, what may come of it. Now, if you have an existing business, that may mean branching off and trying something new. And if you don't have a business, then I would say go for it. Now is probably the best time in many, many decades to start a business in many ways. And there's just a lot of tools out there. And as we mentioned before, if you need money to start a business, if you can't get money from your family and friends, or a bank, there's something called crowdfunding where you can put something on the internet, on the web, and get a lot more people to see your idea and fund it mm-hmm. And get it off the ground. So it's a very exciting time for small business, for entrepreneurs, for innovators throughout this great state.
And if anybody wants additional information about the Rothman Institute, what's the best way for them to get it?
Well, our website is fdu.edu/Rothman, R-O-T-H-M-A-N. Mm-hmm. Our website has all the things that we have going on. And while we have a few more programs, a family business program coming up, which the public is welcome to attend, give us a call. And we also have a teen camp. So we're educating our next generation. That's in mid-July. That's something that has been very popular for the past, I think, 9 years now. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, we're ramping up for our next fall academic semester, and so we have a lot of great things planned. So we encourage you to get on our mailing list and come to our programs.
Well, that's great, Jim. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
having me.
inviting us to the beautiful Fairleigh Dickinson campus.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
This has been This Week in Berkeley Heights. I'm Michael Shapiro from thealternativepress.com. Thank you very much for watching This Week in Berkeley Heights.
Tonight's broadcast is made possible by a generous donation from the Berkeley Heights 5K charity road race and fitness walk. To learn more, go to berkeleyheigts5k.com.